Hi Aquarius, welcome to your 2018 Astro-Tarot forecast. My name is Charlotte from astrology.com, and before we get started on the cards, I'm going to give you a bit of an astrological synopsis for the year. I do want to remind you that you can depend upon the information of the stars. It is really defining a map of consciousness as to certain events that are going to take place in your life, the subjects that surround you on a daily basis. And it really allows you to see how different energies could work out in your life and how you might be able to use free will to really choose the best path for you, the best path that you are spiritually led down. Now, the cards are really a reflection of consciousness. They're really reflecting the state of collective consciousness for Aquarians right now, as this is a general reading. And through the cards, you can begin to see how you're going to use that map of consciousness with the stars to really make some decisions based on your current mindset. The cards also allow you to see where you could go wrong, where your plans could go wrong, and how you might be able to change different scenarios. But before we get started, like I said, I'm going to give you a short astrological synopsis that I put together to really outline some dates, and I'll try to do it quickly. With Pluto in your 12th house over the last decade, some of you have really pulled back. You aren't in the public eye as much. You're working in mental health fields. Some of you are working with spirits. Some of you are working with people in confinement. Some of you are in your own confinement where your choices have been taken away from you, or you have felt controlled by people around you, but perhaps even people with addiction, people with mental illness. And now Saturn has moved into Capricorn in December for a 2.5-year stay. And when Saturn finally meets with Pluto on January the 12th of 2020, this is really going to be a game changer for everyone, not just for you, Aquarius. This is going to be something that really finds its way into the public eye. And I've written an article on my website. You can check that out at astrology.com that really talks about different eras of time when Pluto has conjuncted Saturn, and especially in Capricorn. And for a lot of you, you may already know it brought about different world wars. There were times of depression and oppression in people's lives. So as a public, we have that to look forward to. And I think that Aquarius is a great representative of the public because you guys are such networkers. You are really the voice of the public. You pull groups together. And so when I am saying the synopsis to you, I'm really talking about the public in some way. And so as you begin to face all of these things that have pulled you behind the scenes, as I said, with Pluto and Capricorn, that have made you feel out of control or helped you to see the plight of other people through your own pain and suffering, with Saturn there, it is going to push you to work to get out of that type of situation. It is going to take all of the information that you've gained over the last decade and really push you to use that information for a humanitarian effort. You are going to be able to advance yourself. And let's remember that the ancient ruler of Aquarius was Saturn. So you guys do know how to work hard. You do know how to work hard for the long haul. You have that in common with Capricorn. Now you guys are innovative, I know, and you always like new ideas, but you're always keeping one eye on the past and one eye on the future. And for some of you, it's very hard to work in the here and now. And so what Saturn is going to do is really going to press you to work in the here and now, the day-to-day life, the day-to-day 9 to 5, to push you to take all the information that you have gathered over the past years into the last decade and put that information forward towards helping other people, towards working hard to build your own empire, towards working to help humanitarian effort in some way through mental health, through physical health, through visiting prisons, through working with church groups, through working with spiritual outlets, YouTube channels. Any way that Spirit can get that information out through you, you are going to be required to work. Now, to have it to happen, which is really exciting, I think, for Aquarians, because Aquarians, that's what you wanted to do anyway, right? You really want to help other people, you enjoy networking with other people, and now it's just going to be a little bit of a different network. Whereas you were kind of mainstream before Pluto entered Capricorn, and especially before Saturn entered Capricorn, now you're going to kind of be behind the scenes, but it's going to be a big role for you behind the scenes. So with Saturn moving into Capricorn, it's going to work great with Jupiter and Scorpio this year. Of course, you know Jupiter is the planet of abundance and expansion, and it is expanding your career field. So this is opening a public spot up for you to work behind the scenes. Also, with Saturn there in Capricorn, if you have been holding on to secrets, Aquarius, if you have been forced to hold on to other people's secrets, I don't think you're going to feel a need to really hold on to those secrets much longer. Because what Saturn does, it kind of says, time's up. Time to let go of negative people. Let go of all the secrets. If you have secrets, if you're holding other people's secrets, maybe there are things that have happened behind the scene that you aren't proud to talk about. Maybe you have experienced things where your pride has been injured in some way, where your family has taken on this sense of needing to be behind the scenes to make everyone else feel comfortable for a family secret. So to speak, where you have been protecting people who have addictions. Those secrets are going to find their way out in the next 2.5 years, Aquarius. So I think you have to get ready for the pressure that's going to come towards you this year. And I don't feel like it's going to be that bad of a pressure, because I feel like a lot of you are going to be relieved to work through these issues. Your relationships, those of you who are in committed partnerships and marriages, even business partnerships, long-term partnerships, even with parental figures, those we are bound to by contract and blood. Those relationships are really going to continue to change. They've already begun to change, and you may have felt the pressure over the last 6 months for some of you to separate from someone who no longer has a positive role in your life, who you've tried everything with, and you just cannot make headway. Those relationships that have been entangled in Plutonian like secrets, sexual indiscretions, addictions, certain control aspects of relationships where you've really tried to closet these secrets about your partner, they are going to come forward now. Maybe you've wanted to keep your partner alive in the eye of your family and not let anyone know who your partner is. Those secrets are going to come forward now, especially in January, February, over the next 6 months, and by July through September, Aquarius. I want to tell you that things are really going to change, because there is going to be a solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse will actually be in Cancer, highlighting your area of health and work, but that lunar eclipse is going to be in your own sign. And if you are anywhere from 2 to 6 degrees of Aquarius, you are really going to feel this emotional pull, because that solar eclipse, because that lunar eclipse, is really kind of a humdinger. It is square Uranus. Because Uranus will have moved into Taurus by then. It's square Uranus and Jupiter, and there is a Neptune opposition Venus in that eclipse. You're not going to be able to see things clearly in your relationships anyway. And I feel like some of you, this is an emotional letdown of a relationship. This is something where you've had to make a choice about work or health, and it has really affected your relationships. Now, Mars is going to be in Aquarius this year for 5 months, and there is going to be a Mars retrograde on June the 26th in your sign, and it will not leave the shadow until October the 8th. It will go direct on August the 27th, but it won't leave the shadow until October the 28th. And so this is really going to help you to move forward in some way. There's going to be some starts and stops and moving forward with your dreams, maybe even making home moves. But you are going to take pause and you're going to reconsider, and that eclipse is going to come, and you are going to make a final decision about a relationship, whether this is moving your house and home for a job, whether this is moving away from a relationship, Whether this is your spouse taking a job and moving away from the relationship, or all of you guys moving home, there is a major life change coming this summer, and it will leak into the rest of the year. One of these changes may have to do with Uranus moving into Taurus, and Uranus will enter Taurus on May the 15th, and for the next several years, you are really going to experience shakeups in the home. You may move several times. As it comes in this year, Uranus will be working with Saturn. Remember, Saturn's helping you and Jupiter's helping you with your career field. So as your career is expanding, it's like some of you are moving around, or you're having to move home, or you're having to balance, work and home, especially if you've been a stay-at-home mom for years. Now there's going to be all these upsets coming into the home. And I can bet you that some of these upsets are going to involve your partner. Some of you may be going to work. You may not like what your partner is doing. For some of you, this is your partner taking another job in your place, and society is changing, and it is upsetting your home, and you're moving home. Make sure to watch out for electrical problems within the home, house fires. Make sure that you check all of your plugs, all of your electrical wiring, all of those things, because sometimes with Uranus in your home sector, it can bring sudden flashes of electricity, sudden jolts of electricity rather, and this can really put your home in danger. Also protect your children. Protect anything in your home that might be weak, that needs to be rethought, because with Uranus, we really cannot predict what Uranus is going to do. We can just give the qualities and characteristics of Uranus, but it could turn out differently. There is, in the beginning of the year, a lunar eclipse in Leo. This is an ending for you and your relationship, where you've met another level. And then in February is going to be a big change, because that is the solar eclipse in Aquarius. So from February until July, Aquarius, you are going to be moving forward with your career. Some of you are going to be changing homes. Some of you are going to be leaving relationships. Some of you are going to be taking one job and then getting rid of it and going to another, I believe. And then the end of the year is also filled with retrogrades. There is a Venus retrograde this year in Scorpio. There are also several Mercury retrogrades. When I looked at the stars for this year, I really had to be picky about what I could include in this video. And I may do another video later just talking about the stars. But for right now, I want to just use the lunar and solar activities there with a few other transits to really provide what I feel like is going to be the definition of this year. I feel like by the end of the year, you're really going to be reconsidering your career. You're really going to be reconsidering your lifestyle. You're going to be second guessing some choices that you have made. But I feel like by next year, you're really going to be more independent. You're going to leave 2018 more independent, stronger than you've ever been. And I feel like the fear factor is going to be gone from your life. For some of you that have struggled with health problems, and again, feeling like you're out of control, the power, your personal power, is going to be brought back to you, I feel. And I haven't even gotten into the card yet, so we're going to go there now and see what messages that Spirit has for us. I feel like you're beginning the year not really able to see where you are going. For some of you who have been in roles of home and family and have really cherished that role, things are changing for you. Some of you are going to make leaps in your career. Some of you may actually move forward in creative projects. Some of you may be learning a new skill. Some of you may be taking an internship, going back to school. But I feel like this is more of a skill set that you are really, sort of polishing. I feel like you have a lot of hope, and I feel like that if there is something that you want to pursue that's a creative project or a step up in the career field, it is going to come forward and it is going to happen and manifest for you. I feel like there are going to be some accolades from this position that you take, and that it is going to be a position that propels you forward towards the middle of the year. Because I see a lot of these things by the end of the year, you really coming into contact with who you are as a person, having learned about yourself through your career and through really stepping out to fulfill your dreams and goals. I feel like that's when the relationship stuff may come to a head, is toward the end of the year for some of you. Some of you may be quite emotional about family stability towards the beginning of the year. This may even be into March, April, maybe March through June. And that could be when Uranus enters Taurus. And so that is going to be a brand new energy for you. For some of you, you may be dealing with issues with the body, female reproductive organs. I feel like for some of you, there's an emotional healing or healing to do with perhaps female organs that need to take place. I get a sense of hormones needing to be balanced. Yes, we have another wellness card here. And so I feel like some of you, as the year begins, aren't feeling your best. Some of you are trying to work through some illnesses and go ahead and work and save for the future here. And you're really trying your best to manifest some new beginnings. A lot of you need to clear negativity from your life. Again, Pluto in Capricorn, and now Saturn's here. And so you're going to be able to see how your emotional upsets and all the stress that you have put on you by your relationships and those that you surround yourself with are really affecting your body. For some of you, I feel like there are, especially again, hormonal disconnections or upsets within the body, imbalances. But it's like a disconnect, like a spiritual disconnect almost from your surroundings. Like you're just not plugging in the true factor of the people that you are surrounding yourself with, how they are having an effect on you. And I feel like that this health upset may actually affect your work if you aren't careful. Nevertheless, I feel a lot of busyness around you. I do feel like there is going to be something to celebrate, maybe for some of you by your birthday. Maybe some of you are making strides in your career by your birthday. There's definitely something that's coming up, I feel like, by March, where you are really busy. You are really working on your creative projects. You're really finding ways to let go of the past, to let go of an emotional connection perhaps related to the past. And I feel like that through your work and through all of your creative outlets, that this is really going to bring this healing energy to you where you're ready to let go of some things. It could be a process, a bit of a process for you, Aquarius, but I do feel like that this is the vibe that I'm getting here, is that even though on the outside you are moving forward with your career and you are moving forward with your creative projects, there's something on the inside here that you've had to reflect on. And for some of you, you've just spent too much time alone, I feel like, reflecting and sort of, just stewing in these emotional undercurrents. And now it's time to pick up something new. It's really time to let go. There's a need to forgive here. Forgive whoever couldn't meet you in the middle. Forget whoever is unwilling to be a positive influence in your life. And you have to move forward with this career path. That is the only way out, is through a new adventure. To move away from all of this emotional undercurrent, you have got to go through the door. You've got to move through the door to the future. So think about all of the hopes, goals, and dreams that you have, that Spirit has been leading you towards, where you've seen signs. You've noticed numbers even that have led you towards a different direction, that have opened up your mind to the possibilities that you could not see before. Think on those things, Aquarius. Even if the day-to-day life becomes so monotonous and stressful, you've got to find a place in your mind to pull yourself away from people who are trying to pull you down. And through that day-to-day, work, you are going to find that a tightly scheduled situation is going to push you through that door, where you're able to escape from all of this loneliness, heartbreak, even, and isolation. You're going to begin to see the light of a new day, the light of a new pathway. Now, some of you still have imbalances by the second part of the year, imbalances in money, imbalances in control within relationships, imbalances in what you are contributing within relationships. And for some of you, you really feel like you have tried everything. By July, you are just kind of done with trying. You still have this hope and dream, and I feel like this is something you are going to go towards. But I feel like some of you are moving away from the traditional part of life. Some of you are finding the truth of a matter related to third-party situations involving your marriage even, involving children, involving romance, involving the communication there. Maybe some of you are finding something out online about your spouse. Some of you are just not even interested in it anymore, I don't think. It's kind of like, well, that wasn't much of a surprise, was it? So there is a secret here in the beginning of the year, but by the middle of the year, there's such a sense of trying so hard through betrayal and just have been so innocent and being willing to gloss over the signs that you have seen about a certain person. This could be a King of Cups. This could be Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, male. But I feel like you're going to really come up here as the Queen of Swords. But I feel like you're really going to come up here as the Queen of Swords. There are conflicts around you. It's like people aren't understanding what you're doing. And when that eclipse comes in July, this emotional situation comes forward. There was a lot of emphasis there with the planet Juno also in both eclipses. In the eclipses, the first two eclipses and the latter eclipses of the year. And so I feel like this is about trust within a marriage. Those issues are really going to come forward. And I feel like something is going to shake your world up. Something's going to shake you up where you're going to be able to look at a situation differently. It's as if all of a sudden your eyes have been opened. And some of you you're just not wanting to move forward with a relationship any longer. You have no more defensiveness. It's like you don't want to argue. You don't even care anymore, I feel like. Or you're just so emotionally numb that you cannot find a way to work on the relationship anymore. For some of you, this King of Cups could be a father figure. It could definitely be bad news surrounding money. Perhaps there are arguments surrounding money with this person because of child support, because of situations that you have felt like this person has just put in front of you or put to the side as a big focus in their life, and they have pursued that focus. I feel like there is a sense of someone not wanting to let go of money, and I feel like it's you. And I feel like there have been other people there who have been involved with you in perhaps a battle of greed. Perhaps this is your partner's money and there has been some sort of battle here. But I also feel like there's a sense of being trapped in this toxic relationship that is just not going to get any better. Yes, there are truths coming out, Aquarius, and they're coming in very quickly. Very quickly. From August towards the end of the year. And it's like whatever secrets were covered up with lies, I feel like it was a major lie. Whatever it was, it is something that awakens you to the point that this conflict gets stirred up again with your partner or this King of Cups. And it's something that you feel like you just do not want to be involved in anymore. So I'm going to try to get a final outcome for you. Yeah, some of you, there's just a need to detox from this situation. And you've got to have the confidence to stand up on your own 2 feet. You have got to do something differently than you have ever done before. You have got to stand up for yourself and, do something that is really just going to shock people. And I think a lot of you are doing that. You're just, you're leaving whatever it is that you think is security and you're moving on. You're taking what little bit of money that you have left and you're moving on. This is something here that is major energy. And I feel like it's going to take a while. It's going to be a process. But you're going to feel like that is the path that you need to take. For some of you, if you're listening to this message, I hope that this Tower reverse for you means that you have avoided disaster. For some of you, this means that you haven't heeded the previous warnings. And so I feel like something's coming to you that is not that much of a surprise, but you have just not wanted to rock the boat because of whatever situation you have been involved in, or maybe moving forward with your career. And now it's like the secret slaps you in the face and you can't even avoid it anymore. Maybe this is your own secret, Aquarius. Maybe this is something that you haven't thought about before that's coming out. But I think for most of you, this relates to a partner. It relates to a King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And for this King, I feel like this is about a judgment or something, or perhaps this King is a father figure in your life, but there's just bad news concerning money and family conflict that just continues to go on and on and on. I feel like it could have been there in the beginning of the year, and here it comes up again in the last part of the year. At the same time, it's like swords are just raining down. I feel like there's so much mental energy, and I feel like everything that you've learned about where you want to proceed in life, it's just, you don't want to be controlled anymore. Here we have control issues. And this card actually says, utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may try to control you. And if you feel like you've been controlled by money, if you feel like your finances have been out of control by this King of Cups over here, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or these other people who have brought this conflict, and I'm talking about lust, I'm talking about toxic energies that someone is unwilling to let go of, then it's like, it's just going to come in quickly. It's really Saturn raining down. And I'm going to pull a few more oracles for the year. Let's look at that before I let you go. And I'm going to pull a health card. So I feel like some of you have felt so pressured into keeping all of these secrets that you really haven't gone after what you want to go after. And I feel like you have chased the wrong people. You have chased people who didn't deserve you. You have chased people that you're too good for. And by that, I mean, in many ways. And you have to stop feeling guilty. It's like someone is manipulating you to the point where you're on this emotional roller coaster where you're ready to move on, and then they make you feel guilty. It's like they're bad for a while, then they're good, and then they're bad, and then they're good. And you're constantly trying to appease a situation, to heal and mend a situation that is just not working anymore. And so it's like God is sending in this catalyst to make it so terrible that it just slaps you in the face, and there's no more up and down, good and bad. It's just all bad. And I think by the end of the year, this is nothing to frighten you. I just feel by the end of the year that life is going to be such that you are making a decision to either, allow yourself to stay in such turmoil that it could actually be physically destructive to you. And by that, I mean anger. I mean control. I mean sadistic behavior. I mean people cheating. I mean people coming in and your spouse allowing them to manipulate your marriage. Or maybe you are doing that. For some of you low frequency Aquarians, maybe this is going on for you. And if it is, the best thing I could tell you to do is just to stop it. Focus on your career. Use that as your pathway. Some of you have been afraid to ask other people for help. And you feel like your pride may be too involved in this situation. Maybe you don't want a bad face on social media. Maybe you're feeling like this situation is beneath you and it's not really who you are. And you're just afraid to make a big noise getting out of a relationship or a situation that's no longer working for you. For some of you, this could be a career field. Like one career field starts in the beginning of the year, and by the second part of the year, it's ending. But there is just a message here to let go of toxic situations, which you've been getting. But I think right now what we're seeing is from especially July. Watch your families as early as March through May. When that Uranus enters Taurus, work on your career. See what's lacking between your career and home life. See how your partner is reacting if you're married or committed. If you have people hanging on, Aquarius, that have had emotional ties to you and they really have not been beneficial to your life or supportive, let them go. They're not even worth it here. But for most of you, you are learning one of the biggest lessons of Saturn in the second half of this year. So I would say try to make as much progress as you can, especially up until July. Probably, really try to push forward those situations even through July, through September. And if you have to make a decision, don't feel guilty about it. Sometimes it comes down to a point where two people are together and it's me or you. And if you have to let go of something in order to save yourself, stop feeling guilty about it. I'm going to look at your health right quick for the year, because I did see some health problems in the beginning of the year with hormone imbalance or reproductive organ issues. And I still feel like there's some imbalance in the second part of the year. And all of it may just pile up on you. But I feel like this is, there's healing that needs to be done in the home. And this card says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for giving me the courage to ask for and accept help from you, the angels, and others in matters regarding my family and home. And we saw over here that you needed to ask for help. I feel like this is about a home move, or you're going to need other family members to maybe come in and help you with this situation. Aquarius, if this turns into a domestic violence situation, I don't feel like you can keep the lid on this much longer. And I feel like right now you're not ready to ask for help in this reading. But I'm hoping that this reading will allow you to see a different light. And it says, please help me trust my feelings as an accurate barometer of truth. And this was reversed. So I feel like some of you really need to take a look at what's going on within your home. That there are secrets within your home that you just are not seeing. And I feel like a daily meditation, focus on your diet even, is going to come up as a big part of this. If you have children with allergies or you have food allergies, watch for allergens being brought into your home. Watch who is coming into your home. If there are suddenly people showing up at your doorstep, extended family members, and they may not be trustworthy, protect your children around them. There's a sense here of beginning to rely on your own instincts and not caring about what other people think. And I think some of you are going to become warriors. Some of you may feel so defeated. So I would tell you, with that Mars retrograde takes place, you're going to need to be cautious. And that is June 26th, the Mars retrograde in Aquarius. So make sure that you are protecting your home and family during that time. For those of you in your early 40s, some of you are going to be experiencing Uranus, opposition Uranus as early as May. And that is really going to push you to look for a door to freedom. So just keep all of that in mind. Work hard, do your best, watch your home, watch your family, let go of relationships that are toxic, Aquarius. If you have to start over, don't be afraid to. Let fear go. That's your worst enemy. And don't be afraid to, you need to expand your circle. I feel like some of you have been alone for too long, and you need to network with people and build a circle of support around you. Because I feel like the one that you have in place as 2018 starts out, those are not your people. That is not your tribe. You have to move forward and find people who have your best intentions in mind. And just keep in mind too that Pluto is going to be in Capricorn until 2024. So you may leave this situation and go into another, but sometimes we have to do that. We kind of have to learn first phase of a lesson, then second phase and third phase. So you may move into a different situation that has similar vibes, but they won't be as bad as the one that you just experienced, because you'll be a little bit wiser and you'll know what to look out for. So I wish you the best in 2018, Aquarius. Take care.